Hello traders, Doc here. New week started and let's see what happened so far. In my previous video we prepared for this week and so far things are looking good. This is British pound US dollar and here I said that I expect to see bullish reaction to this confluence zone between this significant zone and this bullish trend line that connected these previous higher lows. And that is exactly what happened here. We got this bullish move. And also I mentioned this stochastic RSI buy signal. So we can see that price continued to go up, but so far I haven't traded this pair. Now, where was a good opportunity to enter here on 1 hour time frame? Basically, we can see here that price formed these higher highs and higher lows. So once price retested this previous high, with this very slow bearish pullback and this very strong bullish engulfing candlestick formation, that was a good time to enter a buy trade. Now we also have stochastic RSI, and as we can see, price continued to go up. It was a good opportunity to enter and put stop loss below this zone. As I said, I didn't trade this pair, but I took 4 trades so far. The first trade that I took is this US dollar Swiss franc trade. I also mentioned this pair in my previous Sunday analysis, and I said that I expect to see bearish move. I mentioned this confluence zone here and also this stochastic RSI sell indication. So I scaled down on a lower time frame to look for good opportunities. This Monday I managed to find good opportunity, but for a while it was a very scary trade. So basically what we have here is a supply zone. Price then formed this move down, move up, and then formed new supply zone. But this time we basically have a lower high. Again, strong bearish move, new lower low formation, and then bullish retest of this previous supply. Price formed this very strong bearish candlestick, and we also have stochastic RSI, and that is when I decided to enter a sell trade. And as we can see, it didn't start good. Price formed this strong bullish move and I felt like a fool. Of course, there is no perfect strategy, so even my strategy is not perfect. This looked like a very good entry, but we quickly got this strong bullish move. So my analysis basically fell apart, but I decided to keep this trade because I didn't risk a lot and also it was the first trade of the week. So I decided to keep this trade and we can see that this was a good decision because my stop loss placement was very good and price missed my stop loss. After that, price reversed and went down to hit my take profit. It struggled here, but eventually it went down and this trade ended in profit. So it was very scary here. I felt very bad, of course. I'm sure you can relate. There is nothing worse when you enter a trade and then price immediately goes the opposite way. This is the worst feeling with trading, but here we need to make a decision. I decided to let this trade run and luckily it was a good decision. So this is the first trade of the week and the second trade was Australian dollar, US dollar. So this is the second trade that I took this Monday, and as we can see here, we also have higher highs and higher lows. Price then formed this very aggressive bullish move, and that is when I decided to enter a buy trade and catch potential bullish move. Again, we also have stochastic RSI buy indication. So this looked very good. Price broke this previous high and then continued to go up with another very strong bullish move. So at this point I was confident that price will at least end in profit, but we can quickly see that price started to struggle. We can see this fight between bulls and bears, but eventually bulls failed to push the price up, and then we can see that this battle basically continued. So once I saw that, I decided to exit at break even as I didn't want to hold this position overnight. I aimed here for 25 pips and my stop loss was 13 pips. So when you have low aims like this, you don't want to see consolidation. You want to see strong bullish move or strong bearish move if you have a sell trade. In this case, it started very good, but quickly after that, we can see that price started to struggle. So I decided to exit this trade and it was a good decision because eventually price went down to hit stop loss. It was a risky business to leave this trade overnight and I'm glad that I made the right decision, so this trade ended at break even. But today I took 3 trades and 2 of them ended in profits. This is the first trade that I took today on Canadian dollar Japanese yen. This is also 5-minute chart and here this is just beautiful trade. So first what we have here is this bullish trend line that connected all these higher lows. The price then broke it and that was the first indication of a potential reversal. The second indication is this lower high formation. So price went up but failed to break this previous high. And then what we can see is new lower low, lower high, lower low. So at that point I am waiting for a pullback, stochastic RSI sell indication and a nice entry point. And that is exactly what happened. Price formed this slow pullback, new lower high, weak rejection and also stochastic RSI sell indication. So I decided to enter here, put stop loss above this previous high and aim for a good risk reward ratio. And we can see that price easily hit my take profit. Basically it took less than 20 minutes. So this was one very beautiful trade and I'm so happy that I took it. And I'm glad that I was able to spot this entry and take this trade. And also I'm happy that I shared this trade in my VIP group. The second trade that I took is this euro dollar trade. This is also 5-minute time frame and here we can see that price consolidated. It formed this strong bullish break, slow bearish pullback, and that is when I decided to enter a buy trade, and also we have stochastic RSI buy indication. We can also say that basically price retested this resistance zone. As we can see, this trade started very good, but unfortunately bulls lost the power and price started to go down. Here we can see this nice bullish candlestick that basically retested this significant zone. So at this moment I thought, okay, this is not bad, there is still a solid chance for the price to go up, but unfortunately I was wrong. We can see that price formed this strong bearish move, stopped me out, and then massive bullish move. I'm sure this happened to you many times when you have a good analysis, but unfortunately your stop loss is not good. It was very risky to put my stop loss here in this consolidation area. What I should have done is to put my stop loss below this zone. Anyway, price formed this bearish move, stopped me out, and then we can see this massive bullish move. So unfortunately this trade ended in loss, but that's trading. You just take this loss and continue to look for the good opportunities. And the third trade that I took today is this US dollar Canadian dollar trade. This is also 5-minute time frame, and here we have this bearish move. Price then formed this new resistance zone. It failed to break it multiple times. We can see this stronger bullish move, but even this move failed to break our resistance. We can see that price tested it and formed this bearish reaction. And we also got this new bearish trend line that connected these previous lower highs. Also we have stochastic RSI sell indication, and this is where I decided to enter a sell trade. I decided to put my stop loss above this zone and aim for a good risk reward ratio. So this is a second beautiful trade of the day, and we can see that price easily hit my take profit. I should have used much higher take profit, but I don't want to be greedy and unhappy with this trade because ultimately it ended in profit. So I don't want to be sad because I lost these profits. I want to focus on a positive part and be satisfied with this trade because it was a beautiful trade that ended in profit. And I also took this trade in my FundedNext Stellar account. FundedNext offers different types of accounts. And make sure to check all the rules because that is very important. This is a Stellar 2-step account, and I also have this account. And this type has two phases, phase 1 and phase 2. And here you can see your targets for phase 1 and phase 2. Also, what is very important, maximum overall loss and maximum daily loss. As here you can split up to 95% of your rewards. There is also an account with one phase, and it's called Stellar 1-step. Here your target is 10% and maximum overall loss is 6 and maximum daily loss is 3%. So as you can see here, you don't have to pass 2 challenges. Here you can pass only 1, but your targets are different. With Stellar Light we also have 2 phases, but as you can see the targets are lower, and we also have different numbers for maximum overall loss and maximum daily loss. But what's very interesting with FundedNext is the fact that they offer Stellar Instant account. And here you don't have any phases. The only restriction here is 6% trailing. Here you can split up to 80% of your reward. So it is very important to check all these rules, and you can do that by clicking here, compare challenges. So check all these rules before you start, so you know exactly the things that you are allowed to do and the things that you are not allowed to do. If you are interested to know more, you can check the link in the description. And good luck with your challenges. Okay, it's Thursday now. First one that I took is this Australian dollar US dollar trade. This is 5-minute time frame, and here we can see this bullish move. We can see these higher lows that we can connect with this bullish trend line. Price then broke our bullish trend line with this strong bearish move, and then very slow bullish pullback occurred. Here we can see that price formed lower high and also lower low. So once price went back to retest this significant zone and form new lower high, I decided to enter. We had this very strong bearish reaction and also stochastic RSI sell indication. So I decided to enter a sell trade, but we can see that my entry was not perfect. Price started to consolidate here and basically broke this high and failed to break this previous low. At this point I was concerned, but I decided to keep this trade, and we can see that it formed this bearish move. It broke this lower low, but then this massive bullish move occurred. Now luckily price missed my stop loss to go back to test this previous low here. At that point I decided to exit the trade here at break even because I didn't like what happened here. Basically here this price structure fell apart because price formed these higher highs, but here formed lower lows. Also it broke this significant zone here, and once it went back I decided to close this trade. I didn't want to hold this trade because here basically we have a mess, and you don't want to be in a market that looks like this. You want to be in a market that looks like this. We cannot know if market will become like this once we enter a trade. Then you want to exit once you have a good opportunity. Here I decided to exit at break even, and that was a very good choice because eventually we can see that price formed this bullish move. So unfortunately this analysis didn't work this time, but I was cautious enough to exit this trade at break even. Before I show you my next 2 trades, I wanted to show you this NASDAQ analysis that I also shared in my free VIP group. Here I said that I expect to see bearish move, and we can see that that is exactly what happened here. So here we have these higher lows that can be connected with this bullish trend line. Price broke it with this massive bearish move, and also it broke this significant zone. Then what we can see here is this very slow bullish pullback, and price retested this significant zone. At that point, we basically got this new bearish trend line that connected these previous lower highs. And we also had stochastic RSI sell indication. So I said that I expect to see bearish move, and as we can see, that is exactly what happened. Eventually, bulls took the control and pushed the price up, but here it was a great opportunity to enter a sell trade, put stop loss above this zone, and aim for good risk-reward ratio. So basically, you had a chance to enter here, put stop loss somewhere above this zone, and aim almost for 1-3 risk-reward ratio. Now we can see that this very aggressive bullish move occurred and price is testing these previous all-time high levels. We have this consolidation, but I think that eventually price will break this zone here and form new all-time high. Today I took two trades. First one is this New Zealand dollar Japanese yen trade. As we can see here, we have this bullish move and also a very strong bullish move followed with this slow bearish pullback. Price retested this significant zone and continued to go up. It failed to break this previous high, but anyway, we still have uptrend here. Then price formed this bearish move and again formed strong bullish reaction to this zone with this very strong bullish candlestick. And we also have stochastic RSI buy indication. So at that point I decided to buy, and we can see that price continued to go up. But as we can see, price failed to break this previous high again. So that was the first sign for me that I should look to exit. Because obviously here we have this new resistance zone and price is struggling to break it. So price started to go down and then up again. And here I decided to move stop loss to break even. And the reason why I moved stop loss to break even is obviously to protect my trade, and also that I noticed that price kept failing to break this zone here. Price then went down to hit my break even. After that we can see that price formed a new bullish move and again failed to break this resistance. So clearly there is something happening around this level that bulls cannot just break. Eventually we can see that bears took the control and pushed the price down. So my choice to move stop loss to break even was very good choice. So at the end of the day, this trade ended without profit and without a loss. And the last trade of this day was this Euro Australian dollar trade. Here we can see very strong bullish move and then price formed slow bearish pullback. Also we can see this new support creation and then price continued to go up again. Now this bullish move here is not as strong as this one here, but we still have uptrend. Then we can see the price formed pullback and retested this significant zone. So once price retested this previous high, I decided to enter a buy trade, and we also have stochastic RSI buy indication. We can see that price continued to go up, but then bears took the control and basically price started to consolidate here. The good thing is that I placed this stop loss below this zone because we can see that price retested it again. Then we got this strong bullish move and here I decided to close. I closed it because I noticed this resistance zone here and also the fact that these bulls are losing the control. As you can see, we had this very strong bullish move, then we got this weaker bullish move, and now these bulls are struggling to break this new resistance. So at that point I decided to close, and this was a very good reaction. We can see that price formed bearish reaction to this new resistance zone, so my choice to exit here was basically perfect. So now this is fourth trade that ended in profit this week, 2 ended at break even and 1 in loss. Tomorrow I will look for the new opportunities and update you with the results. Anyway, so far this week has been very good and profitable for us. And this is the last trade of this week. As we can see, market is still active, but I will not take any more trades because I want to end this week with this beautiful profitable trade. Also, this is 5th profitable trade of the week and we only have 1 loss, so I don't want to take any unnecessary trades. So I noticed some bearish pressure today with this British pound US dollar. We can see this move down, price then formed this pullback and continued to go down with this aggressive bearish move. After that, we can see this slow bullish pullback that retested this previous low, and we also have stochastic RSI sell indication, and that is when I decided to enter a sell trade. That was a very good choice because price continued to go down. Here we can see that price missed our take profit and formed this new bullish pullback, but this pullback was not very strong, not as strong as this bearish move here, and also it retested this previous low, just like it happened here. We also have stochastic RSI sell indication, so this here was also a great place to enter a sell trade and put stop loss above this zone. But I didn't do that because I already had an active position. This is also a trade that I took in my FundedNext account. So we can see here that price then formed this new bearish move and easily hit my take profit here. So again, I followed my strategy and this trade ended in perfect profit. Now what we can see here is that price failed to break this previous low and formed this stronger bullish move. Yes, we have stochastic RSI sell indication and price is retesting this low, but at this moment I don't feel confident to sell, and also like I said before, I made a decision not to trade anymore. So this is not a bad place to enter a sell trade because it's possible that price will continue to go down, but the problem here is that price failed to break this previous low and we also have this aggressive bullish move. And when we want to sell and wait for a bullish pullback, we want that pullback to be slow like this one here and this one here. We don't want that pullback to be aggressive like this one. So that's the reason why this opportunity here to sell is not as good as this one and this one. So market will close soon, and then I will prepare for the next week and share my analysis in my free Telegram channel. If you like this video, please like and subscribe so you can continue to make more. Stay healthy traders and see you in the next video. Bye bye.